What's up, David Carpenter? Good morning. Any thoughts on the Pat Geno drama? I'm so glad you asked. That was going to be one of my topics I was going to talk about. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, who don't subscribe to Compound Media, first of all, highly suggest that you do subscribe to Compound Media. I have a show on there called The Wet Spot, which is every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I have fun porn stars on, comedians. It's just a hoot. And there's other great shows. And if you're familiar with Anthony Cumia, obviously his show is fantastic. So this is what happened. I think this happened Monday because every Monday I do my show and I come in a little bit early to do Anthony's show. Like the last, I kind of make myself available to be around for the second hour of his show. And if like there's guests in there, then I won't go in. But if he's just by himself, why not? Mayor Mondays, people love it. So I did that this Monday, and Anthony, he seemed frazzled, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then he actually put the show on mute to tell me about this, and then I guess he addressed it yesterday, which was Tuesday, only Tuesday. Yesterday was only Tuesday, so this is my understanding of what happened. Geno had booked Pat's ex-girlfriend on his show on In Hot Water. I guess she had been messaging with him and she said, "It's my birthday. Can I come on the show?" And he just was like, "Okay, sure," because they have tons of guests on. And since Geno has been doing this show by himself now, I can understand wanting to have more guests on because Aaron's not there anymore. He has a great dynamic with the guys in the booth, but Geno always does well when there's guests there, people to bounce off of. I didn't see this episode. I really should. I should go back and watch it and see what the big deal was. I guess Bobby was doing the mouth thing. Like he had a picture of Pat and he was doing the mouth thing. If you watch the network, you know what I'm talking about. But it's like, it's a picture and then someone talks behind it, makes the mouth move. It's cheap. It's a cheap thrill. So I guess apparently Bobby was doing that. Speaking as Pat, I don't know if he was intentionally doing that to piss him off, but one could understand. Like, yeah, you have an ex-girlfriend on. Um, like, okay, he probably doesn't want to see his ex on the network because that's how he was with me. Like when he and I dated, he was so pissed that I started going on In Hot Water. He told Aaron and Geno not to book me. He tried to keep me from doing spots on the network, doing basically In Hot Water. That was the only show I was doing. So this is how he gets. I guess he breaks up with somebody and he just as I can understand you don't want to see them again. And I'm sure he was, well, actually I know for a fact he was very unhappy to see me start showing up at Compound Media. But then I ended up pitching a show there and got a show, and then we had to just get over it and get along with each other. So I don't know that this recent ex has like any. I mean, she does. Maybe she does do stand up. I don't really know her that well. Maybe she dabbles. Maybe she's an open micer. Um, but I just don't think this person is someone who would pitch a show and try to like be on the network. But who knows? I don't know her motivation for wanting to get on Geno's show. I don't know Geno's motivation for having her on, but he just figured, like, why not? And I even asked Geno, I'm like, were you flirting with her or anything like that? And he said, no, like, not more than anybody else. And I was like, okay, because he's just a friendly guy. So this is so much buildup. I'm sorry if I'm being shitty at telling the story. So anyway, Geno had Pat's ex-girlfriend on his show. And then it was literally Monday. So I wonder if he had the ex on Monday. Because that's when this happened, Monday. So Geno was hanging out with Cumia at the bar, and Pat walks in. Geno goes, "Oh, hey, buddy," goes to hug him. Pat just fucking cold cocks him. Is that what people say? Cold cocking? He just hits him out of nowhere across the face. He was totally shocked, taken aback. And Cumia is recounting this to me on Monday. You could see he was bleeding out of his mouth, knocked some of his teeth loose. Apparently, I guess Geno hadn't been hit before. I hope nobody gets hit. I don't want anyone to get hit, but I wouldn't know what's normal for getting hit either. So he was worried his teeth were loose. He's bleeding. And then that was it. Pat hit him and then walked out of the bar, walked up to the studio, sat down, I guess read a newspaper, acted like nothing had happened. Even the booth guys were like, he came right in here and acted like nothing happened, which is odd behavior in my opinion. Um, and then I think he left. Yeah, he obviously left before I got there. I got there around 5-ish. So, and then Geno ended up, I guess, not doing his show Tuesday because he was hit in the mouth really hard and had loose teeth. He had to get x-rays and shit and make sure nothing was broken in his jaw or his teeth or anything like that. So, I'm like, "What?" It doesn't surprise me because he has a problem, like, controlling, like, he's, like, an impulsive guy, so I'm not super shocked by this, but I just don't think it's the right move. I don't condone this. Your fucking coworkers, man, like, don't be hitting your coworker over a disagreement. That's what we're all we all have radio shows. We're all podcasters. We're all people who can talk. Use your fucking words, man. If you have a disagreement with Geno, you're upset because he booked your ex. Oh my god, and she does comedy, like, get the fuck over it, man, like, and it's like he has a new girlfriend, so and he broke up with her. It's like the same thing with me, like, Pat broke up with me. I started going on Compound Media, but after a while, like, we broke up in 2014. I didn't start going on Compound Media until after my mother died, so that was probably, like, late 2018. So I didn't see him for 4 fucking years. Like, intentionally did not wanna bump into him for 4 years. I mean, it just worked out that way. So I can understand if this kind of fresh ex just showing up. But again, it's not like she was showing up to be on his show. She was showing up to be on another show, and if she does comedy, like, you kinda don't have control over that. People are allowed to book whoever they want on their show. So and Geno's a super friendly guy. He'd probably be like, "Why not? Sure, I need guests. Get over here." Um, and that's the thing is Geno's show, or the day that she was on, I don't even think was the day that I don't know. I don't it's not like Pat was like, bumping into her in the halls or something. I think he went out of his way to like go punch Geno in the face because he was really upset about Geno having his ex-girlfriend on. But again, it's like he broke up with this girl and I believe he has a new girlfriend already. So it appears you've moved on. And I think Geno's also dating somebody else or has a girlfriend already. I can't keep these men straight. So, yeah, just because you're emotional and you can't control your feelings and you can't express yourself and you're angry, that's not a good enough reason to hit somebody. Like, and I see people on Twitter talking about this. The fans have been talking about this the last couple days. There are some guys that are of the opinion of like, this is how men handle things. Men have disagreements and sometimes men punch each other and then they have an understanding. And I was like, I don't know. To me, that would create more confusion because you haven't worked out your disagreement and now you're in pain and you're like, what the fuck? And you're mad because this person just clocked you. I don't see how that settles anything. To me, that makes you look like a fucking Neanderthal. It's like, use your words, man. Uh, and apparently, like, Pat had sent him a bunch of texts like, don't have my ex on again. And it's like, well, maybe wait for Geno to respond to your text. Like, maybe have that conversation first before you decide to hit somebody. That doesn't make sense to me, but men are emotional. So, yeah, I really feel for. I don't know if Geno's doing his show today. I know he didn't do it yesterday because his fucking teeth were loose and he's getting x-rays. And Pat is now suspended. I guess he's suspended through July 4th. The July 4th holiday. Like, when is Compound off? I think Compound Media is off Monday, July 4th and Tuesday, July 5th. So he's and I think he was supposed to be remote this week anyway. So he's been suspended for like 2 weeks. I don't know if it's with pay, without pay. But yeah, Pat is suspended. Geno is upset and mad, understandably. So I don't know what's going to happen. There was people calling into Ant's show yesterday saying he should be fired. It should be zero tolerance. Like, what message does this send if you condone someone at your company hitting somebody else at your company. Like, and Anthony was saying this too, like, you work anywhere else and someone who works there, like, clocks somebody else, it's like, "Oh, that person's gone." But again, this is not your typical work environment. We don't have an HR department. We don't even have, like, people in charge really. So, I could tell that Anthony was upset that he had to even consider the idea. But again, like, you work with all men, I feel like this shit's gonna come up. I don't know. Woo! Did I explain it all? I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. Let me see. Let me go to some tweets here. I think it's wrong. Obviously he shouldn't have hit him. I'm not surprised because he seems to have a hard time controlling his emotions, but just from my experience, just, getting to know somebody for 2.5 years. But I just think that's so stupid. Like, why wouldn't you think, like, you're about to hit somebody? Wouldn't it occur to you, "Oh, I could lose my job over this." Like, I could lose one of my sole sources of income. Like, I could fuck up important relationships here. I could just look like an idiot. I guess these things don't occur to men when they're emotional. Let me bring up some